What's up, peeps? Welcome to another episode of Tengoose Boxing Talks. Today we have a special guest. He's an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. I think that's how you pronounce it. Dana Pump. If you guys don't know who Dana Pump is one of, what can I say this, Dana?
One of the Pump twins.
One of the Pump twins. Dana, tell us a little bit more about yourself, Dana,
Thank you,
and
Ricky.
about you and your brother, Dana.
Ricky, appreciate it. It's not one of the Pump twins, one of the twins, because I have twins now. So David and Dana Pump been in sports and entertainment our whole life. We're 57 years old, and we've been in the grassroots game from basketball, the hospitality business, the tickets, the booking talent, just through our agency. And we've never really had a job, and we've had a great run. 24 years ago, we started a foundation for mom and dad. Dad died of cancer. And at Northridge Hospital, we have 3 wings named after mom and dad. Carole Pump Women's Center, Harold and Carole Pump Oncology, and the Pump Family Infusion Center.
Are they all in Northridge? You can look at me, Dana.
They're all at Northridge Hospital. That's where my dad died, and we were grateful patients. And it's not how much you raise, it's how much you give.
Yeah.
We've given over $13 million just to Northridge Hospital. And, the stories on how we got Muhammad Ali, Hank Aaron, Denzel Washington to be honored. Just the greatest stories, how we've raised so much money. People give to people, Ricky.
Yeah.
People don't give to causes.
Correct.
So we're just blessed a million times over, and, just in the third quarter of life and doing good and helping others.
Out of you and your brother, David, when did you guys know that you guys were going to grow up and be entrepreneurs from junior high to high school? Because I know you're involved in basketball a lot. So how did you and your brother start saying, hey, this is a good gig, this is for us?
Well, we started when we were like little kids. We were like candy for the Pop Warner Northridge Nights, #1. We were always hustling like stuff like that. And then I remember like Pop Rocks was out, and my dad knew a guy in Arizona because you couldn't get Pop Rocks there.
Yeah.
So we were always hustling and, having fun and building relationships. And, we took that skill set and we started basketball. We started our first junior college basketball camp in the country, AAU tournaments, sleepover camp, Kobe, LeBron, all the great players attended our camps. So we have a real history, kind of like the Watsons in boxing.
Correct.
The Pump brothers have in basketball, high school, and college. We were had a lot of influence at one time in college basketball. And I say one time, we used to have tons of teams, Pump and Run Kansas City, Pump and Run Iowa. And we had all these great Division I players played on our Pump team. Mm-hmm. And they all played in our Pump tournaments. We had a scouting service. Then we had a search firm where universities would hire us, Ricky, and we would help them hire their coach. So we had a lot of influence and power, and that was a great run. It was a great part of life. Now we're a different chapter in life now, and but it all started with those relationships.
Will this be charities? All these are charities?
No, nothing. No? The only thing is our cancer event. August 16th this year. Allen Iverson. We're going to honor Lawrence Taylor, Ricky Henderson, and we're waiting.
He was one of my favorite baseball players.
And we're waiting on one more honoree, and that's just our passion and the legacy we're leaving from mom and dad. But we put a lot of work in it. I mean, everyone says they come to the dinner and go, "Wow, how do you?" There's a lot of work that goes to that.
Yeah, of course. Can you tell us a little? Well, before we get into that, you telling us more how the detail behind all that, Dina. Can you give us a little breakdown of the camps that you guys do? What does it consist of?
Absolutely.
What comes into doing those camps so kids could know, okay, because I know you're telling me all this, but people will say, okay, what is it? What is the camp?
Great question.
What do they do? Where do they go? And what do they do in camp? When they come, what do they get shoes? What is it? How do people participate?
Okay, one time we started Northridge Park. We lived in Northridge, and we started our first Dana Pump basketball camp. It wasn't even named the Pump Brothers.
Oh, it wasn't yet?
And it was just little kids coming to basketball camp, and we learned how to run a camp. We did clinics like, defensive stance or like jabbing and boxing or,
Yeah.
exercise. And we started a basketball camp. So from there, we planted those seeds. And then we were like 21 years old. LA Gear had a basketball shoe.
Ooh.
And LA Gear wanted to legitimize their shoe that lit up.
The pump.
They paid us $600,000 for grassroots basketball.
How much?
$600,000.
Wow.
It was like a 5-year deal and all the free product. But we helped legitimize LA Gear with elite athletes. So when you would come to our tournaments, say you were a senior and you were unsigned, the pumps would have the unsigned pump and run tournament. So coaches could come down and see 300, 400, 500 unsigned kids from all over the country because everyone needs players this time of year to sign.
Yeah.
Then we would have tournaments in the summer, recruiting where coaches around the country, whether it was Jamie Dixon who went to Notre Dame or TJ Ossenberger, the coach at Iowa State, he lived with me. All those coaches would come and be able to evaluate talent.
Okay.
Whether it was LeBron, Kobe, we had these platforms where coaches would come. Then the pumps had a scouting service. Every coach would pay $700, and it would say Ricky Funes, 5'11", slow, can't play, Grand High School. But
Yeah.
we had a publication.
Yeah.
That was another revenue stream. And then one time, this company calls us Hoops TV. We want all your content, and we want to film it. And we'll give you a couple $100,000. So where's the paper? I said, hey, let me sign that real quick.
Well,
David says, well, shouldn't we have a lawyer? Who is going to give us $200,000 to film a thing? I'll sign that right now.
Yeah.
Boom, boom. And we had a great run in basketball, and we really helped a lot of people get scholarships.
From what year was this, Dana?
Well, I'm 57 now. From like when I was 18 to my late 40s.
Well, I know you were 18, but the years, can you tell us so people could understand? Okay,
like 2007,
Okay.
8, 9, and we had it rolling. It's like
Wow.
I was at Jet Suite X. I land the plane, and a big, tall guy says, "You know me?" I said, let me get. Yeah, I knew exactly. Kid played at Cleveland, named Battle. Went to like Bethune-Cookman, and I mean, you got to remember, anyone that played basketball the last 30 years knows the pumps. The antennas have been out there for sure and touched.
When you guys started doing this, Dana, did it interfere with anybody in the big dogs? You know what I mean? That saying, hey, what's going on with these young kids?
It's a great question. We were killers. When we started a scouting service, there was a guy that was very prominent. We overcame him. There was a guy named Izzy Washington, who I have great respect, who started Slam and Jam. We overcame him.
Wow.
There was a superstar basketball camp in Santa Barbara. Mr. Shapiro ran. He kicked me out of that camp. Boy, I put him out of business.
Really?
We just overcame everything. But we put real effort in it. Nothing came easy. Like a lot of times we would run events, we didn't make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But our perception and influence and helped the game of basketball. I didn't even tell you how many college coaches worked for us after Jamie Dixon and I from down the street at TCU, went to Notre Dame High School. Jamie and I were at Valley College. I mean, there's so many, we planted so many seeds and we nurtured and we helped and it's a legacy. Now that I have kids, I can really look back. I hope they get older because the first Laker game, they're going to be on the wood with their dad. And, but I've helped so many others, children, and done nice things for. Now my brother and I, and David's all in with his, Uncle David. So we're bringing Pump and Run back with my little baby.
That's amazing. So Dana, when you guys started this up, from all the clinics from 2007, correct?
Yeah.
Well, way before that, but to now, having all those clinics, having LeBron and Kobe Bryant, did any kids come out of there that were successful in basketball?
Gilbert Arenas, my brother from Grand High School, who's got a son who's going to be, anyone, Jordan Farmer, Nick Young, they all played with us. DeMar DeRozan.
I love DeMar.
I think he's mad at me because we cut him. Or Russell Westbrook. I think he still owns a grudge on me and my brother. But, I wouldn't change anything the way it was. I mean, I remember Reggie Morris was the coach at Manual Arts and Joe Weekly and Willie West at Crenshaw. And we were these two young kids, these two white boys from the Valley, kind of started at first base, mom and dad. But we worked hard. Like, people don't understand, like, when they look at our charity and go, like, how do you do it? We put in the work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real passion and a love. Whatever we've done in life, it takes work. And I think the respect is there for sure, but it's a lot of work. But we loved what we did with basketball.
How did it make you feel, you and your brother, having two white Jewish kids going to Compton?
Yeah.
Going there and being surrounded by a lot of black folks.
We don't know anything better.
Because I think color don't.
Well, third grade, everyone from Pacoima was bused with me to Beckford Elementary.
What?
I went to San Fernando Junior in 7th grade because Maxine Waters. David and I never saw color. We just saw people.
Yeah.
Anybody the last 30 years that played high school basketball in the country knows the Pump brothers.
Yeah.
And, but we didn't see that. Like, I remember going to Nickerson Gardens. There was a great kid at Jordan High School, Stephon Davis. Oh. And he was the player of the year, played for the Pumps. And we were never going to be the Maloofs and own a team. Yeah. So we took our pump and run team serious. Yeah. And we'd go out and meet the families. And I miss the people and relationships.
Why didn't you think you could have been like the Maloofs?
The Maloof started at home plate. Their family had
big business.
They had, New Mexico breweries and stuff like that. Yeah. I just, everyone takes a different lane in life. We wanted to help others, and our passion was basketball, and we just found revenue streams so we can create a living and work with my brother and see the legacy that we've left and help so many people. Wouldn't change it one bit.
And I know both of you play sports as well, right? So both of you, what position did you play?
We both played high school basketball. Went to Bel Air Prep. Jason Bateman was my teammate.
Okay.
It was great. A small league, typical two little Jewish kids. Really, we looked good. Really couldn't play well, but I'll know one thing. My papa was at every game with his members only jacket.
Yeah, that's badass.
And my daddy was at every game, and we always talk, me and David, like, David would say, Dana, tell Martin Fox, the last play of the game, I took us to the state championship. And I don't care how old you are or what stage in life you are, boy, memories like that. Like, we went to Bel Air Prep High School. Yeah. I wouldn't change any way that we would. But Ricky, I give everything to my mom and dad. It's all how you're raised.
Can you tell me a little bit about your dad?
My dad had a wrecking business, Sheldon and Glen Oaks. My mama raised us. And
she was a stay-at-home mom?
Stay-at-home mom. And we were blessed. And I say that looking back now because my mom raised us. And the way the twins are today about helping others is all because of Carole Pump. And my mom was able to see 10 years of the foundation. Then she died in her sleep. But I can't be sad. I think of the joy. Like, people say, hey, Dana, I'm at your mom's women's center. Can you maybe help us get in? It's like the greatest thrill of my life. Yeah. I can't wait till my twins are able to go see, there's grandma and grandpa.
Yeah. Wow, I get the chills by you just saying that,
Beautiful.
Dana, so when on the foundation, Dana, so it's a cancer tree, it's at
Northridge Hospital. We have 3 wings named after mom and dad. Once a year, we put on our big gala. For example, the 10th anniversary, we honored Muhammad Ali, Hank Aaron, and Denzel Washington. But it's a story. How did these guys get to those people?
Yeah.
So I remember calling Curtis Conway,
Who is Curtis Conway?
Curtis is married to Layla Ali.
Okay.
And Layla said, okay, my stepmom said, give her a call. So as I was hanging up, I had my house phone. I'll never forget. I called Lonnie. I said, Lonnie, my name is Dana Pump. My brother and I want to honor Muhammad. So I said, they were in Scottsdale. We flew there the next day. We go to Houston's. It's David and Dana and Lonnie, who's a redhead, freckles,
Yeah.
and Muhammad. And Lonnie sits down, goes, boy, you guys are cute. Now, a lot of girls don't say we're cute. So I said, Dave, I think we're going to get this one done. So this is another great story. Sometimes we got to, you got to say, like, we got this and that.
Yeah.
So she goes, who you can honor? Muhammad wants to know. I said, Hank Aaron and Denzel Washington. Wow. I walked outside the restaurant. I said, David, we haven't even talked to those guys, but we got it done.
You got it done.
Yeah, but there's so many of those stories that I'm so proud of what we've been able to establish
and everything.
No doubt.
Dana, so on the hospital, when you have this, I know your mom has a wing, which kind of reminds me of Oscar de la Hoya. He has a hospital for his mom.
We honored Oscar.
Cancer. Yeah. There's people that don't have money. Is that basically what they do? People that don't have money?
No, we have hospice care. Okay. We have a fund there. You can go right on the website, Harold and Carole Pump Foundation. Shoot me a DM, and I take a lot of pride in when people need help. If we can help them,
then you're able to do it.
Amen to that. Yeah. I mean, that's what the Lord has given me the ability to do. Like my wife reminds me all the time, God has blessed David and Dana with a talent.
He's gonna bless you guys more tremendously.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. Because I remember meeting you for the first time, and I heard a lot about you guys, the pumps, until your good friend and my good friend Sam Watson goes, "Hey, meet the pump." Yeah, Sam. What, Sam? What? I love Sam.
Sam and his boys,
sons. Marcus and Brandon, great people.
I keep telling you, those guys, Marcus and Brandon, they need to get their dad a star of the Hall of Fame. There's no bigger star in this town than Sam Watson.
Sam reminds me, well, I know a little bit Sam more than you, but Sam is so generous. Sam has brought Floyd Mayweather to my gym.
He helps
He helps so many people. And even though he has a boxing gym down the street, he still calls me, "Hey, Ricky, Matt Barnes wants to come and work out."
Sam's the best.
He's the best.
And his boys are great.
Marcus, Brandon, the very, very humble family. That's what
boys. I love those guys.
I still remember me going to your house. You invited me, a freaking Latino, coming to your house to try to cook some wings.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
So now, your brother, what does your brother do? He's still part of...
Well, we're all together. We have an agency called the Pump Group, and we're big in the hospitality tickets, Super Bowl, fight tickets.
When you say that, the hospitality and all that...
Tickets, rooms...
Meaning like a scout?
No, selling tickets.
Oh, okay. So you have a ticket agency?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I'm partners with Any Tickets. They did like $350 million last year.
What?
You want Taylor Swift tickets, or we buy and sell, and we have a big business. That's our revenue. That's your
business. That's your income.
Live. Yeah.
I thought normally I would do with Kenny. Is it Kenny?
Yeah, VIP.
Okay, VIP. So yours is?
It's our competitor.
I know, but what's
Anytickets.com.
Anytickets.com.
Yeah.
Anytickets.com.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. See,
Yeah.
Dana, something new I learned.
Yeah.
So now tell me about your beautiful twins, Dana.
I got
and your beautiful wife.
I've been married close
get you
to
in trouble
14
because-
years. I met a great woman who changed my life, and we tried fertility for many years, over 10 years, and I'm just really blessed. The Lord gave us a boy and a girl, little Dana, little Cassie, and I have no problems with life and just how I've been blessed. We can always use a little more money, but my wife says, don't ask the Lord for that.
Yeah.
The Lord's blessed
for health and...
Yeah, look what the Lord has blessed us with so much already. Yeah. So I am thankful. When you called, I always want to help others, and, that's just been our DNA. If someone says, how did you and your brother move so quickly and do things, we helped other people.
So she said, don't worry about No money, none of
No,
that.
no, we're just. I mean, I know how blessed I am right now
Yeah.
in my life and everything. I always want to lose more weight, and it's been a battle of mine and my brothers our whole life. But we're in it, we're
Well,
working it.
I invited you many times to come and work out with me, but you
Yeah,
have to be disciplined, Dana. I told you already. Come and work out. I don't mind working you out,
yeah.
man. 30. Can I tell you something, Dana? In
This
this,
body's fine the way it looks right now. My
you
wife
look,
is very
but
happy.
you look thinner than when I saw you
Yeah,
a year ago.
I've been working.
Yeah, you
At
look
it.
good.
But I love a meal. I love a good nosh.
do you whatever you want, Dana?
Do I eat?
Whatever you want, or it has to be kosher.
No, I'm
Okay,
not.
you eat
Oh, I
what?
love it. Just when I had to talk,
I saw. I'll call you. What are you doing?
supporting Van Nuys, supporting our community.
So Dana, now tell me about boxing. How did you get involved in boxing?
Well, boxing, I used to go to wrestling. My dad took me to the Olympic Auditorium.
Wow, back in the
Freddie
day.
Lassie, Andre the Giant. And then boxing, I've been blessed, obviously very friendly with Mike and Kiki, and we've honored Mike, and they've come every year to the
And when you
charity.
say Mike, he's meaning Mike Tyson.
Sugar Ray's, my brother do a lot with Sugar Ray, and they're great. And boxing, the sport of boxing, I remember me and my brother, we didn't have much money. We didn't know many people. We went to Tyson when he bit the ear out, and I remember
Holyfield.
we were sitting down. We just spent all this money before we knew it was over the fight. But I just, those memories going to Vegas, and my best friend at the time, Louis Raff, rest in peace, died so young. Louis was a big boxing fan.
What did he die of?
Louis Raff died had like some blood, and you would have known him because he grew up right around here. But Louis was a fight guy. There's a lot of characters in boxing. Those guys that come, for years. Yeah. I used to go to Tengoose Boxing on Reseda Boulevard. The Rules brothers.
At the country club.
Yeah, I used to go to that.
Wow.
I couldn't make that up. So I've always loved Lance Whitaker lived with me.
Lance Whitaker lived with you?
Yeah.
What?
Bought him a car and everything.
You know that Joe used to train him. You know that? Were you the
what
one
do you
who brought?
think talking to Brandon Sam? I know exactly.
Wow.
They called him Winky or
Goofy.
Goofy.
Man, that kid I think he messed up his career.
I love Lance. I was the San Fernando JV basketball coach. That's where I met Lance. And 20 years later, Lance tells me he's a twin.
What? Really?
He's a twin.
I never met his brother.
And I'll run into Lance. I can't even begin to love when I see him. I love Lance Whitaker.
Lance Whitaker is 6'8". If you guys don't know who he is, Lance Whitaker was a former heavyweight contender. He's 6'8", 6'9". He was a beast.
A beast, a freak. I mean, unbelievable. But yeah, I mean, who didn't love boxing? And went to all the fights at Staples Center early on. I used to go to the Forum when they had fight nights there, and boxing was great. It was fun. You met girls. It was always a scene, especially in L.A. And always was hustling tickets with Sam, and it was great.
So you knew Sam already in the 80s, or?
I knew of Sam a long time, but I really developed a great relationship later in life with Sam and his kids. We play that softball game every year, and very fond of them.
Well, you missed the softball game that we just had. We beat them.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we had a softball game that was the Watsons against Van Nuys.
Oh wow!
Van Nuys Tengoose, and
when was this?
This is 5 months ago.
Wow!
It was a good turnout. To be honest with you, they thought they were gonna come and normally they win.
Yeah.
They thought they were gonna come and beat the Mexicans, and we just whooped their butts. We were beating them like 18-2, and then they started coming back.
Yeah.
And we just we won 21-20.
Awesome.
It was a good game. It was actually Brandon wants a rematch, but yeah, it was fun because I played in one of your pump games at USC.
Yeah.
We had where I saw DeMar DeRozan, I saw you, I saw Jimmy
yeah.
Fox. And it's exciting when you do kind of stuff like that for charity, Dana. Do you just get a joy of just making other people feel good, huh, Dana?
Yeah, it's great. I love working with the Watsons. They're good guys, and We have a lot of fun. We bust each other's balls. I mean, big time, and got a lot ahead of us. We got the Final Four. We have a big event April 4th in Arizona.
What's April 4th? Tell me.
It's our big Final Four party we do every year. It's like the Vanity Fair of the Final Four, the Pump Brothers. Dougie Fresh is performing this year, and we got that coming up. And then I start putting everything together, and I obviously help Leah with the Ladylike Foundation June 1st. We got the Pump Foundation, but it all takes a lot of work and effort and meeting people and touching people, and people give to people. So, when I get back from the Final Four, I hit it hard.
Hit it hard again, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Dana, and going to the boxing, have you ever managed or worked with fighters besides Lance Whitaker?
Never did any of that. It's never been my passion. My dream would be like, hey, Mike, let the Pumps walk out with you when you fight.
Jake Paul.
Yeah, but Mike.
I trained Jake Paul.
Did you early on?
Yeah, I trained him early on, and then we parted ways. I can't discuss the thing because I had to sign an NDA. But man, that I knew that kid was gonna be something special besides his brother Logan, because this kid really trains to be a fighter. He wants it, and that's what I see.
Listen, Mike's gonna be 58,
Yeah.
But
Mike is still a beast.
A beast is on. I mean,
look, Mike could hurt this kid, but it's for entertaining, and which is great.
It's gonna be an entertainment.
Yeah, they're both gonna use headgears. Look, people know already. People are saying, "Well, why Mike Tyson?" Listen, it's entertainment. He's an entertainer. He's almost how many years? He's almost 60 years old, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
See, if Paul gets knocked out, then it's gonna hurt his career.
Of course.
Mike is 57, and the entertainment, the star power at the Cowboy Stadium is going to be unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It's going to be crazy.
Mike walking out. What kind of songs?
Are you going to walk out to him?
No, I would love to, but I'll be there. But, can you imagine, what song Mike?
Why can't you do that? Why? You have the connection to the,
I don't know. I think
that would be amazing.
That would be the Pump
Twins. With you with the two twins right here.
Yeah, that would be unbelievable. I'd rather have my twins do that.
Right.
That's fine. We got a lot of good stuff ahead of us, but thank you for having me here, Ricky. Appreciate everything you do, and you've been
Dana, can you tell us right here where they follow you and your foundation?
IG Dana Pump on Instagram, David Pump the twin, and go on the Harold and Carole Pump Foundation website. All the information on our foundation is all right there.
Perfect. Thank you, Dana.